Kicking off the day. Whoo! Been up about an hour, hadn't gotten any trouble yet. They had a lot of trouble yesterday. Pulled over by the police. They want to interview me, shake me down, make sure I didn't steal this beautiful old Volvo with all this stuff in it and that thing on the top, I guess. You know, I got a temp license plate that's way expired. I think I'm going to get Elizabeth to make me a couple Ohio-looking license plate temp tags so I could put in the little special square that they have for it. And that way, they'll at least see something when they drive by. I'll have her put the correct information on there, but still going to be expired. I'm not trying to fraud the situation. But like the police officer said yesterday, between here and Ohio, I'll get pulled over another 10 times with curious police officers trying to make sure I hadn't stole that vehicle. So that's where that is. Then I was up on the mountain with no cell reception, and Diane got uncomfortable. She thought somebody was trying to disturb her peace. Somebody, she said, was tapping on her door, and when she got to look out the peephole, they had their back to her, so she couldn't see their face, and they're tapping on the door. Then she went back and sat down, and somebody was outside of the room on the patio with their back to the patio door. She thought they might have been working together. If anything, somebody just trying to see if they can get into a room to steal stuff. I don't know, but she got uncomfortable. She tried to call me 17 times by the look of her phone. I never got a call. Phone never rang, never even indicated that I had an incoming call. I get back in the car to come down the mountain, and bam, my phone light up. I see the text message from her. I call her. I call the hotel, stuff like that. Man, if you think somebody's trying to disturb your peace, abduct you, steal all your money, and slash you up into 100 pieces, call 911. Unfortunately, she didn't think to call the police. She wanted to call me. So I got in trouble a couple times yesterday. Hopefully, I won't get in any trouble today. Yesterday was enough for a couple days. So that's where I'm at. In this video, the clips I put in here, I was helping Steven get some stuff done and taken care of on his 850R that he had painted green. Had a few things done to it and a couple things he needed to get done to it. I can't remember if the heater core firewall junction was hooked up from the heater hoses, and I drained the radiator. So anyway, hopefully he'll send me a picture of that headliner installed. I forgot to take a picture of that, or my phone was acting up, couldn't get that, and we could put a picture of that in the video clip. And today I'm heading towards San Jose, help some people around the Oakland area, and then from there I hopefully can get that stuff taken care of in Gilroy and get close enough to that so that I don't have to shuffle around hotels, and just plugging along. Appreciate you all watching. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Kicking off the Tinker Day on this green R. Man, look at that custom grill. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those. I guess you could take one of these grill frames that was egg crate, get rid of the egg crate, and put anything you want there. Nice. We're going to do the heater core, put the headliner in, probably replace this seat belt, and a few other things. So I think I'm going to kick it off replacing this heater core. My tools should be in here already somewhere. Yep, there's the main tool right there, baby. I don't know where my hose pinchers are, so probably be a good idea to drain some of this coolant down and add it back so I don't lose so much coolant when I disconnect that heater core. As you can see, that heater core is old because it's dark brown. Even the tip of that thing is a little bit on the brown side. Man, he don't have the shift cable bracket on there. Shift cable bracket's missing. and the screws that hold that to the floor. Yikes. I don't know if I've ever seen that, man. People dropping stuff on these manual swaps. And his return spring is missing. I guess this just proves that that return spring is just a helper, because return spring and that clip is missing out of that bracket. A lot of that floor cushion stuff is cut away, and the pin's missing from the gooseneck on the, what's that thing called? The yoke. And the cruise pedal switch is just dangling. It's not snapped in. I don't know if that's broken or not. Let's see. Yep, that's broken. Needs to be replaced. Man, he's got some little bit of hacked up stuff here. It's a shame. Let me get this amp out of the way so I could do that heater core. Man, they couldn't have watched my videos on doing this manual swap. Missing the bracket that holds this metal piece together there. Missing 2 screws from the shifter base. And missing the screws that go in the side of that bracket. Still got the steering wheel shift lock cable installed. That stops you from, I guess, turning the key all the way off when you're not in park. That don't need to be there. That almost caused me to have an accident one time when that cable fell down behind my throttle pedal. The cable guide. Anyway, let me do what I'm supposed to do and quit critiquing somebody's manual swap. Look like the upper radiator hose is new. That's just a plain hose up there, not the correct hose. Of course, we talked about that Euro bottle. And the oil cooler lines have been deleted. But for some reason, there's a lot of oil under here on the subframe, which is rare for a car that has oil cooler lines deleted. I'm not sure what that's about. But look at that shoestring on that radiator drain. That's interesting. And this lower radiator hose is in pretty bad shape. I would replace that ASAP. I recommend he get that replaced. Don't know where all this oil's coming from. I wonder if it's power steering fluid, or if this oil trap box has that bad URO piece on the bottom of it. And somebody stuck a screw in the oil cooler weep hole. Never really good. MTC heater core. Comes with the gasket, you gotta put around there. Now, Nissans used to use this black heater core in. Does have the metal crimps, which is good. However, I've never seen anything like this inside the hole. That has some kind of plastic partially obstructing the hole there. And this one has some kind of, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just flat like that. Used to seeing those have a round back end, like this has the round back end, but that's flat, kind of weird. Well, let me go ahead and put this in. Now, Swedish car parts for a couple years, they use these black bottomed heater cores, and I think those were subject to failing sooner than their tan colored ones. So if you got one of these black ones on here, you may want to be careful and check those things, and probably just replace them every 5 years and go back to the cream color one. So we're going to put this gasket around there and put this in here. Hopefully these seals are big enough to prevent leakage. And I got the coolant draining in the recovery pan up there. Let me get this thing out of here. The seals with this MTC heater core, they seem a little small in diameter, and they are a little loose on the pipes, so I don't know if that's good or bad. Hopefully they won't leak. Steven was trying to hook up a 901 stereo system, plugged it into the wires here, and it wouldn't work. but somebody has bypassed the amp that's in the system. So I'm gonna plug that back in, see if we can get this working for him. Got the 901 working. If you want to test the radio, you hold the number 6 button, you cut the power on, the radio will work for like 15 minutes, then it'll go back to ask you for the code. Here's our headliner material from yesterday.
Excuse me?
Good color, love that color. We had a couple blemishes there, a little bit right there on the front, I don't remember that. And of course occasionally you'll have one in your pocket areas that, man, you totally won't see due to the handles and stuff like that. But man, I like that color a lot. Getting ready to do the shade, and this material, the foam is so thin, I think it's going to be okay for that shade. Very thin foam. Well, it looks thicker on the side than it does where we cut it. So hopefully that'll be thin enough to wrap around that shade good. The foam on the shade from the factory is like half of what it is in the headliner. So that's something that you kind of struggle with when you put normal foam on the shade. It makes the shade hard to open and close. It rubs. Had to put some epoxy on the back of the gasket. It was coming off the car. Now this seal is starting to rust. You can see the little waves in the seal. So he'll probably want to replace his sunroof when he gets up there to where it rains a lot, because sooner or later this seal's going to be leaking water through it, and you really it's difficult replacing the seals on these glasses. Most people just don't do it. They just replace the whole glass. But this one, the back was catching, and we cleaned it off, put some epoxy on there. Hopefully that'll hold it to the glass. Keep it like that for a while. So anyway, that's where we're at with that, and had a hard time getting the pins that's in the glass to fall down in the guide holes in the track so that it would bolt down easy. But it looks really good now. Probably works and everything now that it's in correctly, and I don't know why I never had one so hard to get locked in. But anyway, we're going to put the sleeves on it to hide the screws, and then put the headliner in. Well, that's it for today. I am calling it a day. Go pick up dinner for me and Diane, head back to the room, and go see Brian first thing in the morning. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.